Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're back with one of my favorite distilleries and their newest release that you need to know about. So pay the hell attention. Sagamore Spirits Manhattan Finish 2024 release. Oh, how are you, my favorite diamond-shaped bottle of rye? So, for those that are astute-minded viewers, I believe they last released this in like 2020, okay? This is batch 2A, so the second time they've done it. I think it was back in 2020, maybe 2021 when they did the first batch. It was a 4 to 5 year old rye. I don't know if it said, aging times of the stuff in there, so I just don't know. It was 103 proof then, and it is 103 proof today. Look at this. Reserve Series. 103 proof. Compute, 51.5% alcohol by volume. Manhattan Finish. And no, it's not made of sewer gas, rats, and rampant crime. Manhattan the drink, not the city. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay, so you might say, well, Bourbon Bill, is this just like a cocktail in a bottle? No, it's not. It's not. It is straight rye whiskeys, so straight rye whiskey, finished in vermouth bitters barrels and cherry brandy barrels. So this is like Manhattan through finishing, not through the addition of vermouth or, a little bit of cherry juice in there. No. This is finished to be similar to a Manhattan. So that's kind of cool. You don't see that too often. You see like Jefferson's does a Manhattan finish, but they, it's low proof. They put stuff in it to make, this is not a bottled Manhattan. This is a straight rye whiskey finished in different barrels. So just keep that in mind. It is different and unique. On the back are 4-year-old straight rye whiskey, but let's read closer. Distilled in Indiana. So this is their MGP. Okay, now they are doing some of their own Maryland distilled stuff in certain bottles, but this is 4-year-old MGP. And they use a blend of 95.5 rye and like a 51% rye. So this is all MGP. Finished in vermouth bitters, like we said, and cherry brandy barrels for an additional 20 months. Let that sink in. 4 months shy of 2 years. They finished this 4-year-old rye whiskey in this other barrel. So this is almost a 6-year-old whiskey in total aging time in this bottle. For $79.99 or $80 a bottle, available now at the distillery. And I think this is a little bit of wider release, so if you do get some of the other Sagamore bottles, you might see this one, and you should be on the lookout for it. Likely, we'll try it tonight, but I've already had a little bit out of this bottle. It's not a fresh crack. I believe the one from like 2020, 2021 was $74.99. So prices have only gone up $5 in like 4 years. Talk about inflation proof. Am I right? They're helping us out here with this one, okay? Now, I do not have the original, but I did try it about 3 to 4 weeks ago at a bar. This bar, if you're from central Pennsylvania, Lidditz, PA, has a bar called the Bull's Head. And they have the original from like 2020 there at the bar. You can try. And that one tasted very much like a cocktail, so much that Rita enjoyed it. And she don't enjoy whiskey. If you ever watch her on this show, she don't like it, And she actually says, I could drink this. That's what she said when she tried it. So it was, that very much tasted just like a Manhattan. Okay, so unfortunately I won't be able to compare that for you today, but we'll have a few other comparisons, don't you worry. Alright, color. She's kind of nice and dark. I'm digging it. I don't know if vermouth bitters are dark or if cherry brandy's dark, but this is a little dark, and I'm digging it. Let's give it a nosing. Sweet cherry pie. This is like straight rye whiskey and cherries. I mean, the predominant note is just a luscious Luxardo cherry on this bad boy. You get like a sweet rye spice. that cherry note, and then there is a very like faint undertone of the vermouth at the end. And it's a good vermouth. It ain't that like, you know, well crap you're getting at your local watering hole. Let's take a sip. Heaven help me, it's so good. Oh, A+++ rating for Bourbon Bill. Fantastic. It kind of tastes like a Manhattan, but better. You know, it's like a deeper, richer Manhattan. Because it's all rye whiskey. You know, it's not watered down with ice. It's not watered down with vermouth. It isn't watered down with a little bit of cherry juice. No, it's all rye whiskey here. Up front of the palate, it's just a delicious sweet caramel rye spice going on, and then bam, just a wall of cherry. Then there's like this real dark vermouth flavor comes in, and then another wall of cherry, and then rye spice to finish out. It's very good. It's not artificial cherry. It does taste like Luxardo cherries, but Luxardo cherry mixed with rye. It's delicious. If you like a Manhattan, you should 100% pick this up. If you just like, you know, Sagamore's Finish stuff, but you're not like, I don't know, you're not a mixed drinker, it's still for you. That's what's crazy about it. It's very unique. I'm going to compare this other one for you real quick, and there's a reason why. It's the Sagamore Maple Cherry Cask Finish. You might say, well, maple has nothing to do with this. It doesn't, but this is their straight rye whiskey finished in maple syrup barrels and cherry brandy barrels. Okay, so both of these are finished in cherry brandy barrels. This one then in vermouth, and then this one in maple. This was like a very weird. Look how little of this I have left. I did a video review of this. You should go check it out. Now, despite this one's 116 proof, compute 58% alcohol by volume. This was 6-year-old rye whiskey and 5-year-old rye whiskey finished in cherry brandy and maple syrup barrels for an additional year and a half. So it's a little bit older in terms of its total component, but I wanted to see if we could pick up the cherry brandy, you know? Again, this was like a small 2-barrel blend for some stores in Maryland, so likely you don't have that one, but let's just see if we get how much of the cherry brandy note we get. I get the cherry on this, but I also get the maple, but the cherry is like 5x more on the Manhattan than it is on this maple cherry. That one's phenomenal. That's phenomenal, but it's so weird. It's like the maple and the cherry blend together to form a delicious sweet, you know, maple cherry syrup, I guess, if you want to say that on the other one. But this one, the vermouth elevates the cherry. So if you're a cherry fan, this Manhattan, which is going to be more widely available than that, is probably for you. The cherry's much higher here. Now, we are going to do something a little special for the other comparisons tonight. First off, though, you should buy this. Go buy it, please. You're hurting yourself if you don't. It's very good. But let's do a little mixed cocktail and see how it compares to that. So I mixed this one downstairs, and it's a Manhattan. And I mixed it with Sagamore Spirits Cask Strength at 112.2 proof. Compute 56.1% alcohol by volume. Mix that with a little Martini and Rossi vermouth. I don't know if that's a good brand or not, you know, but it's what I had. And I was too cheap to get the Luxardo cherries. I have the Woodford cherries, which are pretty good. And I mixed it downstairs, and a little dash of Angostura bitters in there too. I mixed it downstairs because Rita was worried about me mixing it over the carpet up here, that I might spill it. So, you know, I pre-mixed it, okay? So there it is. It's in this writing glass with some ice, cooling down. You know, what's the best way to have this, right? We got it neat. Now I'm just going to pour this over ice. And we're going to see what's the best way to drink this little bastard. And Sagamore Rye made Manhattan. Now when I make them, I pour the vermouth, you know, half of that to one of the rye. Wait, it's really 2 ounces of rye to one of the vermouth. A couple dashes of those bitters and a little splash of cherry juice and a cherry on top. Let's see how this one is. Oh, is that heavenly? Oh, very good. Surprisingly though, just our, wow, it's very cherry, but I don't know if it's as good as this. No, I prefer just the neat here. I was gonna say if that was better, you'd be like, well, you know, this is like what, $50 hairs a bottle, $40 hairs a bottle, something like that. So it would be cheaper, half price, if you could just make your Manhattans with this and a big old bottle of vermouth. Now here's the brand new Manhattan Port of Rice, as in a cocktail. Let's see how that is. That's very good. Much better than your average like bar cocktail. But it loses a little bit of the deep, rich cherry flavor here because it's watered down. Still very good though. If you're used to just making cocktails and you're just getting into whiskey, go ahead and pour this sucker over ice. You're not going to be disappointed. But look at the color difference. It's not as rich. I don't think it's a real made Manhattan. I think I prefer making the Manhattan over just pouring the Manhattan Finish into a glass with ice. I would say you could maybe make a Manhattan with that. I don't want to waste more of it, you know, but I would just say that, look, it's an $80 hair bottle. Are you going to be mixing this to make a Manhattan? Probably not, you know, unless you're wealthy. Unless you're wealthy. But I'm sitting here to say that this, just neat, no ice, is fantastic. Oh my God. That's a winner. That's the winner, just neat. So, do yourself a favor and pick one of these up. You are not going to be sad at all. Oh, this is killer. Great job, Sagamore, again. Sagamore just never disappoints. And that, I mean, never. Never. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. Have a good evening.